welcome to my channel. I'm Chiara, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I cut up food, and I'm also going to review a product I got sent from cookhelper.com. It's an adapted kitchen set, and I thought today I would review it to see if it's easy to use and to kind of like see if I can become more independent in the kitchen, because if you've watched some of my videos you'll know I really struggle with cooking, which is why I don't do a lot of videos on cooking on my channel, because it's one of the areas where I do struggle and I don't feel I'm the most independent in the kitchen. I'm not. So I thought today if I can show you how I cut up food and then show you an adapted kitchen set to see if it works and to see if it could help you in the kitchen and me as well, because like I said, cooking's hard with one hand, I think, and I really do struggle with it. So first off, if you don't know, when I was 2 and 10 months I suffered a stroke resulting in right side hemiplegia, and I will link a full video about my disability here and down below if you want to go watch it. And if you like these kind of videos and you want to learn more about my disability and learn more about how I do one-handed tasks, and you might want to see more of me, please consider subscribing. The subscribe button will be below. So now let me show you how I cut up food, and then I'm going to review the adapted kitchen set. I'm really excited about this because I think it could help me be more independent in the kitchen, which is what this channel's all about. So yeah, now let me show you, let's get into the video. First I'm going to show you how I cut food. So there's not much I can cut. I do really struggle with cutting food and preparing food for myself, which is why I don't do a lot of cooking videos, if you were wondering. I have done one, I'll link it up here. That's probably about the only thing I can really cook. I'm going to show you how I cut a cucumber and strawberries. I can't cut anything that's too hard or anything that's round, because again it rolls around on the chopping board. So for example, I can't cut an apple because it rolls around. So I'm going to show you how I cut these couple of things. So first off, let me start with cucumber. What I tend to do is, I've already kind of cut this from a larger cucumber, but what I tend to do is, there's two ways. I can either cut it like this, like that, and then I can put it flat like this. Oh, actually one thing as well before we get into this, I always tend to put something under the chopping board so the chopping board doesn't slip. Like Dycem, I will link Dycem below just in case you want to get some, but it's just Dycem Non Slip, and I think if you Google Amazon it will come up. Back to cutting food. So what I've done is I've just cut this in half, and then what you can do is you put that over there. You can just kind of cut it like this and like that. I would say obviously try and get a relatively sharp knife if you can, because it's easier to cut things, but obviously be careful at the same time, because I don't want anyone cutting themselves. And also another thing I would say is I never do this when I'm cutting food, because obviously I don't want to cut myself. So that's also why I can't cut very many things, because I don't want to put my arm on it and then I end up cutting my arm. So please don't do that. I know I've done that in other videos where I think when I was wrapping presents I did that, but my arm's so far away. Or if I cut something with scissors I will do that, but don't try it with a knife. I've never tried it with a knife, so please don't try it with a knife. So for cutting stuff like this, you can kind of just cut it like that and like that, and that's pretty much it. And then just like this, like that. Again, you could also, another way you could cut it, I guess, is like this. So like in like, what do you call it, sticks? Yeah, like that. That I would say is slightly harder to cut. I don't know why, that just feels slightly harder than cutting it. That's how I cut cucumber, and that's how I found to cut cucumber with one hand. But again, cucumber is quite soft and it's quite easy to cut, I feel. To cut strawberries, what I would do is, I've washed these, don't worry, but what I would do is I'd put it down like this, and then I would cut this top bit off it. You don't eat it, so this bit. And then I'll move that over there. And then I would probably put it on the bit I've just cut off, and cut it down like this. And then you can flatten it like that. And then you can just cut it in half and then cut it like that, and then it's all cut really small. But like, you could just have them this size and cut them in half also like that as well, so you've got it like that. It's up to you on how you like your strawberries cut, but you can just kind of go like that. Yeah, I'm going to show you that again. So what you're going to want to do is cut this, and they tend to just stay strawberries, they don't tend to roll that much. So just cut it like that, cut that bit off, put it over here, and then put it like that on that side. And then just cut it like that, and then you can bring it down like this, and then you can cut it in half. You can cut it that way, you can cut it this way, you can cut it whichever way you want, like that. and then you can just move it over to the side to put in your bowl later. I kind of do it like that. And again, strawberries tend to be quite soft, so they're quite easy to cut. But yeah, those are probably the only things that I really like cut up. You can buy a lot of things pre-cut. I know it's slightly more expensive, but that's what I did at uni a lot. When I went to uni, I lived away from home, and I would buy a lot of pre-cut. Like, you can get pre-cut carrots, like baton carrots, you can get those pre-cut. I would buy those. You can I think you can get onions already diced as well. You can buy pre-cut things if you were struggling to cut things. Like, I think an onion isn't something I would be able to cut because it's round, so you wouldn't be able to cut it like this, an onion or an apple. So there you can get a lot of pre-cut things, but I don't think I've never seen pre-cut strawberries or pre-cut cucumbers. So I was trying to think of things you can't buy pre-cut to show you how I cut them, but obviously these are the things I eat the most. If I'm going to cut something out, this is what I would cut, so I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible. But yeah, I would say with cutting food, the food does have to be soft, and not like soft, but like not like super hard, because you do have a risk of it moving, and obviously it has to be like a little bit soft. So yeah, that's how I cut food, and that's kind of like how I've cut food throughout my adult life, and when my parents aren't here, when my friends aren't here, that's what I'll do for cutting strawberries and cucumber. And you could try other foods again, but just be careful. Just make sure your hand you're not using is away from a knife. I wouldn't put your hand on the chopping board. To hold the chopping board, I would try and get something to stop the chopping board from slipping, because I don't want anyone cutting themselves. So please just be careful when it comes to that. And yeah, that's how I cut food, using one hand and without any aids to help me. Now let me review this adapted kitchen set and see if it could help me and you. Okay, so this was sent to me by cookhelper.com. It's an adapted kitchen set, and I thought I would tell you a little bit about the company. So it's a family-run business, and they actually contacted me on Instagram because the wife had been watching my YouTube videos for a while, and she actually suffered a stroke, and she was struggling to find things that would help her in the kitchen. So her and her husband came up with this adapted kitchen set to help her be independent in the kitchen, to help her regain her independence in the kitchen. So it has these 3 spikes here, it has a peeler here, it has a cheese grater with all the sides, and then if you take this off, this is where you can put the bread. So I'm going to review all that today and see how easy it is to use. And I just thought, yeah, I would tell you a little backstory about the family-run business and see if it was something that could help us be more independent in the kitchen, because I can completely relate to feeling like you're not independent in the kitchen. I really struggle in the kitchen, and I've talked about this a lot in my YouTube videos, how I don't like cooking. So they were kind enough to send me this board, and we're going to review it. And that's a little bit of information about the company that sent me this product, and I will link their website below and their Instagram below, so you guys can go and look at them and see what you think, and if you want to give them a follow, give them a follow. Now let me review it and I'll tell you what I think. So I think we should start with this. This here, let me move this so you can see it. This here is a spike, and I think it's to hold like apples, onions, things that are round, because like I said in my previous video, previous section I just did, I really struggle with cutting things that are round. So I've actually never been able to cut an apple in my life. So this is the first time, so let's see if this works. And let's not hit the cheese grater, because otherwise I'll end up grating my knuckles. So I have washed this again, so I think what you're meant to do, push it on there, like that, okay? Now let's see if I can cut it, okay? Kind of scared. Okay, I've got quite a sharp knife, because obviously you don't want a blunt knife. Oh, okay. And I have washed the knife, by the way. Okay, okay, I am able to cut it. I mean, it just comes off. And then I guess you can use this to cut it like this, like how I was cutting food earlier. Let's try and cut the other side. I guess you could go like that. Okay. And you can just cut it like that again. And what you'd go like that. Okay, but now I've got a dilemma because I've got this bit. What? Maybe I just didn't put it on there. I guess what you could do actually, in theory, is you could put it on there like that, and then, okay, I wouldn't recommend doing that, but it did work. This is definitely great for cutting apples and things that are round. And also I would say it's not that sharp, obviously I wouldn't put my hand on it, but just like be aware that this bit isn't as sharp as it looks. It is sharp, but it's not like, I can touch it quite comfortably, but I wouldn't like want to whack my hand on it. And you don't need to push the apple too far down. I also think you could even cut things that aren't round on it as well, and it will hold it. But again, be careful, because obviously it is slightly sharp and I wouldn't want anyone hurting themselves. But you could also do it like that as well. I mean, if you wanted, you could take the skin off as well. I mean, I took it off really badly because look how much skin to apple ratio there is. But yeah, this is good for cutting apples, or for cutting anything really. It doesn't have to be round, but apples is what I really wanted to try, because obviously, like I said, I've never been able to cut an apple. So I'm going to tidy this up, and then I'm going to try and peel something. So I might try and peel this bit of apple, and I could try and peel some cucumber, because I have some of that left. So I might try and peel some apple and see, because again, I've never really been able to peel anything, because my parents have peelers like this. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't really peel it because I can't hold it, but I guess, yeah, because it doesn't, like, it moves when you try. So that doesn't work. So we're going to try this and see if it works. So I'm going to tidy this up, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. The one thing I would say is when I was tidying up is just be careful when you have to wipe around here, because obviously they are sharp. I didn't help myself, but they are sharp. Just be careful. After I said they weren't sharp, they're not like, they are sharp, but they're not sharp. You know, they're not like super sharp, but they are. Doesn't really make sense. So let's start with this. So this bit here is for peeling things, I guess. So we're going to try this bit of apple here. So I'm really scared, and also maybe it should have been bigger. Like, be careful. Oh, that did work. Look, it did work. Okay, let's try. So maybe I need to take this bit out. I'm not the best cook, as you can probably all tell. Okay, it does peel it like this. So it does work. Let's try with this bit, obviously. Be careful when you take it out, because obviously that's a blade and it peels. So the peeler does work, but I would say just be careful, and also maybe use like bigger slices of apple or anything you're peeling, because I think this was too small and it didn't really work that well. And also this is quite sticky as well, so I would say maybe something that's not so sticky too. But yeah, it's really easy to use as well. You just literally go like this, and it's super easy to use. It's a bit like using a cheese grater. Let me try and peel this. It's slightly bigger, so it might work better, and also it's not sticky. So, okay, let's see. So, I don't really even know how that hard, but it did peel it. Look, I would say again, be careful. Look, it does come off. I'm just like, no. I don't know if it's better to do it this way. That way maybe. We're kind of not in frame. Oh no, it is peeling it. I mean, this would take a long time if you had a whole thing to peel, but oh, it is peeling it. Look now. If you wanted like, what is it, like mini slices of cucumber. Once you get the hang of peeling, this does work and it is easy to use. Again, be careful with your fingers because this is sharp and don't want anyone peeling off their skin. So yeah, but other than that, the peeler does work quite well, and I think, yeah, you kind of have to move it like that. Okay, so the peeler works and the style of it works. Now I'm going to tidy this up again, and we're going to go on to grating and my favourite, buttering bread. I cannot butter bread at all. I find it really hard. I don't do it. How I eat bread and butter is, I love bread and butter. It's my favourite. I dip the bread in the butter. Like, I'll take it out of a butter dish. I'm not gross. I'll take it out of a butter dish and then I'll eat it like that. So yeah, let me tidy up and then we'll do that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to try and butter bread. I was going to do cheese grating first, but the cheese grater goes here. Anyway, I'm going to try and butter bread. So this is actually a brioche bun, but it was already cut. Like, they come, you can buy them like pre-cut. So this will probably hold, I'm hoping. But if you have like a square piece of bread, which I don't have, but we're just going to go with this. Oh no, it does hold actually, like that. The idea is so it doesn't move when you're buttering it. You know, if you don't hold bread, when you butter it, it moves. Which is why I don't butter bread, because I find it really hard. Okay, I've got a butter knife, so here's the butter. I'm just going to put it on here. This butter is really soft, it's been out of the fridge. Okay, let's see, so. Oh no, it does, look. It is working, you can butter bread. This does work, wow. This actually works. I sound really surprised, but I am, because I've never been able to butter bread this well, ever. Like, I can butter bread, but it's never this way. It always moves, and I get butter everywhere, and it never works well. But this actually works really well for buttering bread. I'll just insert a picture for you guys. Let me bring it forward for you so you guys can you see it? Like that. Next thing that they got on this adapted kitchen set is grating cheese, and the cheese grater did come with it, so what you see here is what came with it. So, okay. So apparently it goes like this. This is from the instructions, which I read earlier. And then to put water on them, so I don't have them. Sorry, I was going to insert a picture, but I just put water on them, so I don't have them anymore. Yeah. Sorry. So what you do is you move this bit here, and it pushes it in and out to hold it in place. Like that. So I'm going to secure it like that. It's kind of the same with the bread. Okay, that's pretty secure. So now I'm going to get some cheese. And I'm going to try and grate cheese. Normally when I grate cheese, what I tend to do is I tend to put my body weight. I don't have it secure like this, because obviously I've never had one of these. But what I tend to do is I tend to like put my body weight and grate like that. And that's how I've grated cheese for a long time, because I eat a lot of pasta, so I like to grate cheese. So I kind of just do it like that and put my body weight on it, and it does work. I do it on a plate and it does work. It's just like not the safest, which is why when I did my cooking video, we didn't show me grating cheese. We said you can just buy grated cheese, because we felt we didn't want to anyone to get injured doing it that way. But that's how I found to do it. But let's try it this way. I think this will work, because this isn't going to move, which would be great if I don't have to put my body weight on it, because it doesn't feel like it's going to move. Okay, so it's grating it. It is working. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me try and like turn it this way so you guys can slightly see. Look, can you see it's grating and it's working? And I'll insert a picture. It is grating. This does work, and it hasn't moved, and I haven't had to put my body weight on it at all. It's just grating like this really easily. Okay. So then I guess once you're done grating your cheese, you unscrew this here, and then I guess you just kind of like slide that bit out like that, and then you've got grated cheese here. Look, I've got a little pile of grated cheese. I don't know if you guys can see that. This does work. To grate cheese, this does work. Okay, so I'm going to tidy up, and then I'm going to like talk about what I think of the product and I think it's good or not. So what I would say is overall this product is great, because I am able to cut more things using the spikes, and I am able to peel stuff and butter bread and grate cheese safely. Although I couldn't grate cheese before, but it was always worried it was going to slip. So overall this product's great. I think it's definitely helping me. It definitely helped me be more independent in the kitchen, and also I would say as well, you can cut food like how I showed you in the beginning. I've always cut food like that pretty much my whole adult life and when I was growing up, but if you're struggling to cut things, if you want to cut things around and be more independent in the kitchen and cook more things, this will help, because you can hold from things that are round, which I've never been able to. I'm very limited on what I can cut, because it kind of has to be soft so it doesn't move, and it has to be kind of like flattish, or like to make it flat so it's easier to cut. So that's what I would say, but overall, if you did want to look up this product, I'll link their website below and their Instagram so you can look and see if that's something you did want to be more independent in the kitchen. So yeah, I'll link it below, and I think I'm probably going to continue using this product when I move out of my parents' home, and also if my parents go away and I need to do something. I would say this is definitely going to be a very helpful product for me. So yeah, so thank you Cook Helper for sending it to me, and also I'll link the website and Instagram below. So before we go, I hope this helped you, and I hope you're able to find a way to cut food, whether or not you look at getting one of these or you do it my way. Again, please be careful, because obviously knives, cooking, I don't want anyone injuring themselves. So yeah, I'm sorry if you can hear the rain. It suddenly started pouring with rain in England. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching my video. If you did enjoy, please like and comment, and if you want to learn more about my disability and learn more about how I do one-handed tasks, and you might want to see more of me, please consider subscribing. The subscribe button will be below. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!